My name is Sam Finger, and I'm originally from Manhattan, New York. I was growing up in a house in Westchester. There was this huge sapling tree that had cherry blossoms growing from it. The syrup would grow off the sides of the tree, and I was just at a height that I could reach it, and I would get the syrup and I'd start eating it because I thought it was so tasty, and it was totally like not healthy or something you'd want to be eating off the side of a tree. And my parents would always be like, "Stop eating the sapling," but I'd always run outside in the morning and go eat the sapling.
My name's Brittany Molnar, and I'm from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Every Friday night, my mom would finish work and I would finish school, and she would pick me up and we would come home and build this giant fort in the living room.
My name is Liz Magee. I'm originally from Coventry, Rhode Island. When I was young in Rhode Island, we had this big house, and in our basement every Halloween we would make it a totally haunted house. Everything, like animatronic things, we would all dress up, have all the kids over. And it was scary, and I couldn't go down by myself, but it was just the most fun.
My name is Courtney McNeil, and I'm from Harlingen, Texas. There was one birthday where we had the Lion King soundtrack, and we sang and did dance numbers to different songs from the Lion King.
My name is Michael Kinnan, and I'm from Lansdale, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. I couldn't stand carrots at all.
Tofu, because I was raised vegetarian, and they'd be like, "No, this is fried chicken." I'd be like, "It's fried tofu." So tofu, and now I love tofu. Now it's like my favorite food.
I don't know if it was the texture, was it a liquid, is it a solid? Like I just didn't know. And so applesauce was just not something I ever enjoyed to eat.
I mean, my parents did divorce when I was 9, and that's always rough. But it was actually particularly difficult. I moved from Rhode Island to Orlando when I was about 12, middle school, which is the worst time.
I'm Tommy Hetrick, and I'm from New City, New York. I think it was in 1997, my grandmother, she was having a fight with my dad over the phone about custody for me and my sister, because my parents were divorced. And she was having an argument over the phone, and she ended up having a heart attack while she was fighting my dad, and passed away.
Around when my parents were getting divorced, when I was 11, my mom was like going through a little midlife crisis, and she started cheating on my dad with my brother's best friend, actually. And so it was weird. It was a weird time. And then we moved to Miami for a couple of years, and it was just like a very odd period that was probably the saddest part of my childhood.
And she told me that when she got divorced, she would never fall in love again. She told herself that that would never happen. And so that instantly became my biggest fear of all time, was becoming like my mother, more specifically, never being able to fall in love.
I was in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and I was the only person left, and it was terrifying, and I still remember it very vividly, and I am now to this day prepared for a zombie apocalypse if it ever happens because of that nightmare.
It's always that one where, you're on a cliff and you have two choices, who to grab, this important thing or this important thing, and you just can't, you're just powerless, and then one falls and then you wake up and you're devastated.
My first time I ever saw the ocean and the beach, I think it was Nags Head, North Carolina, and I just remember seeing the ocean for the first time and just being in awe, and it was so cool, and so that was by far the best trip of my life.
When I was 11, I took a trip to Arizona with my grandparents, my dad's parents. Then I drove with them in their motorhome cross country back to PA, which took like 10 days, and saw the entire country actually when I was 11.
And I didn't really have like any friends, so I was very shy, and I just liked to paint. I don't know if I ever wanted to be like a fireman or anything like that. I don't think I did.
My mom put me in dance classes and singing classes and piano, and I always really enjoyed that.
I moved out of home when I was 14. I moved in with a friend that summer because my mom was traveling so much, and I was in boarding school from then after, and then went to college.
In 2007, I came to the city and went to college here.
I moved to New York to go to college. I went to Marymount Manhattan College.
I moved to the city my freshman year.
When I was a freshman in college, I was 18.
Yes, I do have a second job. I work at the 92nd Street Y on the Upper East Side, and I lifeguard there.
I am a waitress at a bar called Rathbones, possibly looking for a third job at this place called Biscuits and Bath.
I have second and third job. I work at a restaurant on Bedford Avenue, and as a food runner and barback, and then I work at Anthropologie in retail as a supreme customer service specialist.
I'm a server at the Standard Grill, which is a pretty okay job. It's not, it is what it is.
I'm a personal assistant to this woman.
So it just made sense. If I want to be an actor, you go to New York City, But I definitely am feeling it, how expensive it is to live here.
I came to the city my first time and just loved it. I love the people and the energy and the opportunity and just the melting pot that it is. Theatrical community here in New York is the best in the country, let alone the world. I might be biased, but there's so much opportunity here.
The difficulties of producing a play are mainly that when you want to make something or create something, it comes down to having enough money to do it, which is, it always sucks. The benefits of being in the city are that there are so many things you can audition for and be a part of,
As a writer, producing a play in New York, it's great because I'm surrounded by artists. Everyone wants to do this. Everyone wants to be active. I have a ton of friends that are actors. I used to be an actor. Everyone's an actor here.
As a director, there are many, many constraints. Finding a space, finding people who are willing to do things for free until you're able to pay them, and finding just time to do it. Every single one of these challenges can be turned into an opportunity.
Money, first. Finding people who have the time to do stuff and can commit.
If you see something, say something came out of a workshop class that we did in college.
This play is about what New York is, what scares people about New York and what people love about it, which is strangers coming together, and what happens when they feel the need to connect, and what happens when they do.
When the rules of how you're supposed to interact with people is taken away, there's so many different things to relate to. Like, you might hate one character but then relate to another character that also hates that character.
So I just started with them on a subway, which we all know, and I just went from there. I just went with, what if these different personalities were stuck in the same environment? What would happen?
It really just grew into something that we didn't even know it could at the beginning, and it was really a wonderful, enlightening process.
It's gone through several stages. We thought it was going to be this really dramatic play at first, so we were going for this more serious kind of dramatic play, but now over time it just developed into this really simple comedy that's kind of like enlightening about just the communication between people.
Well, since the play takes place on a subway and it's broken, I think that says something about also how I feel about the subways. But I also love the subways when it's not too packed and you can kind of have these weird silent interactions with people that you naturally will have no matter what. And whether it's you avoiding looking at them or staring at them, trying to see if they're going to look back at you, it's so interesting.
People just coming to the city to pursue their dreams get a job. You have to have a job. It's tough. I saw this comic at an open mic last night, and he's like, I can't afford to live in this city anymore, but I can't afford to move out. Just gotta make sure you're ready for that pace, because it hits you hard and fast, and some people get knocked off their feet. You gotta stay on your feet.
It's easy to get caught up in the craziness that is New York City, and I think it's really important to stay true to who you are. I know that I wouldn't be happy doing anything else, and I think you have to do what's gonna make you happy.
Trying to maintain survival in the city can sometimes make you lose sight of your dreams, but hang in there. And I think that's what it's all about.
I just want to be really good at guitar and and sing and be like another persona. Florence Cole would be my name if that ever happens.
I would really like all my loans to be paid off. Also, my mom's a waitress. It'd be really nice if I could take care of her and just have her sit down, relax.
I hope that I will be married with a golden retriever puppy and maybe a couple kids. I don't know.
In the future, I would like to have a lot of money, like tons and tons of money, and I'd like to be a movie star in only like action movies.
Post-apocalyptic world where we have to travel across the country avoiding zombies and 30. I'll be dead in 30 years. There's no way I'm living that long.
I think I would like to develop a new version of Modern Family written by Liz Magee, directed by myself, starring none of these actors.